Hello, cooking on Christmas can be incredibly stressful, so I like to do as much as I can in advance. So I'm going to make a few of my favourite side dishes, and I'm going to start with a classic sage and onion stuffing. I've got 6 onions that I'm going to peel and slice. Onions all sliced, so now I'm going to get a pan onto the stove and get that heating up. To it, I'm going to add half a pack of butter. Now, it sounds like a lot, but it is Christmas. We can now add in our onions, and we're going to cook these over a low heat for about half an hour until they're beautifully soft and smelling delicious. Whilst it's all cooking down, we can get on with some breadcrumbs. So I've been saving up the crusts and leftover bits of bread. Now, I can get these put into the food processor and blitzed up into a crumb. Now, I'm not going to wash out this because we're going to use it again in a second. These onions are cooked down so they're beautifully soft now. So what I'm going to add to it is the sage. I've just got a small bunch that I'm roughly going to chop and get it put in there. The sage just needs a couple of minutes, then I can give it all a season. It's all cooked and tastes great, so now we're going to get it tipped into the food processor and whiz it until it's nice and smooth. Get this put back into the pan. It's off the heat now. I'm just going to use it as a mixing bowl, and then we're going to get the breadcrumbs added in just a handful at a time, stirring them in until we get to the right consistency. Just not too thick, not too loose. When I'm happy with the consistency, I can get it transferred into an oven-proof dish. This can be spread out, and then when it's cooled down, we can get it wrapped up and put in the fridge. So we're pretending this is, say, Christmas Eve, and we've done all this prep, and then tomorrow, Christmas Day, all we've got to do is put this in the oven to cook through and crisp up. The next dish involves something that not everyone loves, but I'm a big fan of the Brussels sprout. I'm going to get a pan of water heating up, and while I do, I've got my sprouts and I'm just going to halve them. Going to add these to the boiling water and just blanch them for 3 minutes. I want some other veg in there too, and I've got some leeks. Now I'm just going to get these topped and tailed, and the outer leaves removed, and then split down the centre and sliced. I like doing them like that so you can really open them up and give them a good wash. Whilst those leeks drain, I've got a pan heating up and I'm adding 50 grams of butter to it. Now, I'm going to peel and chop an onion, get that in and frying off. It was actually a shallot. I do know my onions really. So I'm going to fry this off for a couple of minutes and then I'm going to add a crushed clove of garlic, because I add garlic to everything, but you could omit it, and a few sprigs of thyme. The leeks can now go in, and these just need a couple of minutes to cook down. The leeks have now really cooked down, so into there we are going to add 1 tablespoon of plain flour, stir that in and cook it out for a couple of minutes. I've measured out 800 millilitres of milk, so I'm going to gradually add this in, stirring in between until it all thickens up. This has gone up to the simmer and thickened up. So now for some seasoning. So first I'm going to add about a teaspoon of English mustard. Then I'm going to add a teaspoon of some vegetable stock, just some powdered stuff. I've added some freshly ground black pepper. Now I can get the heat turned off. The last thing to go into the sauce is about 100 grams of mature cheddar. So I'm just going to get this grated and then melted in. I have an oven-proof casserole dish that I'm going to get the sprouts put into, spread out, and then this cheesy, leaky sauce poured on top of them. Now I cheated a bit with this. I got myself some ready cooked chestnuts. I'm just going to give these a rough chop. These can get sprinkled on top of my cheesy, leaky, sprouty gratin. Then I have some breadcrumbs left over from the stuffing, and these go on top as the final thing. So that, again, can be wrapped up, put in the fridge when cold, ready to go into the oven on Christmas Day. Now, if you wanted, you could even add some more cheese on top, but I think that's enough cheese for me. Now this, you don't really need a recipe for, but it's a good thing to get prepared the day before. So I've got some chipolata sausages and some streaky bacon. I like to get my streaky bacon as thin as I can, as I think that crisps up so much better. Then you just got to wrap it around your chipolata as tightly as you can and get them trayed up. Now the other thing you can do, especially for kids, is turn your chipolatas into cocktail sausages. So just pinch halfway through and then give them a twist. Then you can just snip them in half. Again, we can get this cling filmed up and put away, ready to go into the oven the next morning. I love pigs in blankets, but what about a vegetarian option? What I have for the pig bit is some halloumi cheese. I'm just going to get this cut into some battens. For the blanket component, I have a courgette, which I'm going to get topped and tailed. Then what I have is a speed peeler. I'm going to use this to take off thin shavings of this courgette. You've probably guessed where this is going. We're going to take a strip of courgette and wrap it around our piece of halloumi like it was a bit of bacon. So you guessed it, cling filmed up, put it in the fridge, ready for Christmas Day. But I'm not waiting that long. I'm going to get the oven on and get these in when it's heated up. The oven's now heated up to 200 degrees, so I'm going to start with the gratin and get that in there. I'm going to give that 40 minutes. 10 minutes has gone by, so I'm going to get the stuffing in and give that half an hour. After another 10 minutes, I'm going to get the real pigs in blankets in, so these are going to get 20 minutes. And while they're in there, we're going to get a little drizzle of olive oil over our halloumi and courgette pigs. Another 5 minutes has gone by, so we're going to get these fake pigs in blankets in, give them 15 minutes. Then everything should be ready to come out at the same time. Time's up, so let's see how this all looks. All that's left to do then is to dish some of this up and see how it tastes. Okay, it could use some turkey, some other veg and lots of gravy, but as sides go, I think these are looking pretty good. Now, as I say, the whole idea is you do this the day before, and then all you've got to do is put them back in the oven. And with these things, if you put them in the big ceramic dishes, like I've got these bakes in, you could even pull them out 20 minutes before you're ready to serve, stick some foil on, stick a tea towel on top, and they're going to stay plenty warm enough, which just gives you some more options. So I hope this is helpful for your Christmas prep. Now, I'm going to tuck into this.